have not had the ethical commitment to make of it a brotherhood. But somehow and in some way we've got to do this. We must all learn to live together as brothers, or we will all perish together as fools. We are tied together in the single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. And whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. For some strange reason, I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. And you can never be what you ought to be until I am what I ought to be.
It's crazy how the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. still echo into 2023. It's almost unbelievable that in 2023 we are still dealing with the same issues of not being unified, of being against one another, of fighting each other instead of coming together in unity. Let's check out this clip from Wode. This is someone who I followed even before I came to Ghana. He is such a great inspiration to me because he's one of the YouTubers that I watched like a hawk when I was planning my move to Ghana. I moved with such compassion that he took the time to create this video. It's crazy because all of us are singing the same tune. And it's at a point where it's out of our hands. This is a spiritual matter that must be addressed. It's detrimental, and I say this all the time, to our survival. We have to change our mindset, and we have to learn to come together. I don't know when we're going to learn if Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke it, and yet in 2023, we're still dealing with this very issue. And for it to be even on the continent, we have to do something differently. Let's check out this clip.
Sometimes the struggles of an African trying to explore their own continent breaks my heart. Things like this that happens at our borders always breaks my heart. I've been deported in an African country. I have been arrested in an African country. I don't know when at all will an African love himself, because if you treat me bad, you are treating your own self bad, because we are just one people. I wonder why we are just one people, but borders like this keeps on separating us. I love the fact that the diasporans are connecting back to the motherland, and it's time for the government of Africa to create a system that really supports the diasporans coming back home. Because whenever they come back home, they want to feel at home because they've been through a lot in the diaspora. You don't expect them to be going through racism in the diaspora, and when they come back to Africa, they go through discrimination. This is what we're trying to avoid. So most of you will be wondering what really happened. This is our flower border. I was on my way to Benin to go for the Voodoo Festival that is happening in Wode.
I hope we are not going to Wode. Are you going to Wode? Yeah. So we are going for the festival? Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
So as a Ghanaian with ECOWAS passport, I need to just cross the border with no issues by just getting my stamp. I had all the documents for my car and everything, but that alone, we had to spend over 1 hour at the Ghana border, which I think it was even way smoother. It's just that the process was a bit tedious.
This whole process is frustrating, man. Like, we spent our 1 hour already, and nothing is happening. We had to go stamp our passport. We've stamped our passport from the Ghana part. We have to go register the car. We've done that already. Now they are saying that we cannot move if we don't show them the paper. So it's like he has the thread over there, you see. So he's like, he's arguing like, what's going on? This guy is like, he needs a paper before he allows him to pass. But I've already taken the paper from us already. Like, we are in Africa, yeah? And we're struggling. Like, this is mental slavery, man.
But right after that, that is when all the wahala happened, when we're trying to get a stamp from the Togo border just to enter Togo, then from Togo to Benin.
So now we're done with the Ghana side. We are about to face another wahala at the Togo side. This is crazy, man.
Huh? What does it say?
According to the law, citizens
citizens of members of countries of economic, the ECOWAS have the right to travel. Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. But what are they telling you?
That you got to pay. But it's saying that they're saying that
no
they
receipt.
can't enforce it.
No receipt.
They cannot enforce it. That's what they're saying. They cannot enforce it.
Okay, so we are also going to check it out right now, and then I will let you know what happens, man. So how much did you pay?
0.
You didn't pay. Apparently, at the Togo border, they will not stamp your passport if you don't give them 2,000 CFA. Did they ask you out for money?
Yes.
So did you pay for it?
Yes.
Some of you paid.
No receipt.
No receipt.
No receipt. Even with
the ECOWAS.
ECOWAS.
Then I have to challenge that I'm not going to pay because I have an ECOWAS passport.
I'm sending your picture to Mama Vera.
Oh, do that. Okay. Which I have no problem paying the 2,000, but the problem that I had, the fact that they said no receipt for paying 2,000 francs. I was there and I saw a lot of people queuing, and all these people are waiting to pay the 2,000. Those who don't have 2,000 get stuck at the border. I don't understand this. Like, this is the Togo embassy, Togo border, and they are telling us that we have to pay 2,000 for each passport, and you don't pay, we are not stamping your passport. And when you stamp your passport, no receipt. But according to the ECOWAS law, if you have an ECOWAS passport, it's okay for you to pass through.
And rely on any member country for up to 90 days. They are not subject to any form of harassment, nor must they pay for a residential permit.
You are breaking the law. You are breaking. So now we finished.
This is crazy. And she's like, I'm not going to take your passport if you don't give me 2,000. The meal. Why the meal? Will you give me receipt for the meal? Wow. They saw me narrating what happened on camera, and all of them were super scared, and they grabbed my camera, and that caused the chaos. I had to fight for myself because even the Ghana immigration border were saying that, Maya, I'm so sorry, I wish I can help you, but what happens in Ghana stays in Ghana, and what happens in Togo stays in Togo. So he has no power. So I had to hold my camera, stand firm, and I said, I'm not giving you this camera today, not tomorrow.
Madam, stop that. This is the same problem
Yes,
I thought you've taken a video. That's why you are here. The same problem. You are still solving the problem. You are here. Boss, let me talk to them. They said because of the video, that's why they called to solve.
No. We talk about our rights. We're not talking about any video. We talking about our rights.
Charge the people who already have ECOWAS cards.
we've already talked about it.
They should not
so
be
now,
charged
Let our sister out, and they should not go to buy.
We have elders here. You people are extorting money from elders.
Yes, I'm 78 years old. You asked me for money, and I've been a Ghanaian citizen for a
We're all
long
one
time.
people. Y'all
ECOWAS
need to
citizen.
stop that
Don't do
nonsense.
that.
You are no better than us. We are no better than you. We are one people. You got to stop the ignorance. You need to stop that ignorance. Who taught you that nonsense?
They're not
What
friends.
parent taught you that
They think
nonsense?
they're friends.
But listen, the reason why we do such videos is to change what happens at our border post. I'm not here to make any country look bad, but I believe that the president of Togo and the president of ECOWAS, I mean the chairperson of ECOWAS, who happens to be my president, Your Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa, I think something must be done at this Aflao border because to so many people, they are scared of using that border. So in order to resolve the chaos, I was called into another room by the director of the immigration officers. I think he's really a great man because he resolved the issue peacefully.
Yes. There's no pictures being taken.
I'm not taking you.
Whilst we're trying to resolve the issue peacefully, I saw my fellow sisters right behind the gate chanting, "Let him go, let him go."
Go! Let him go!
This got me emotional to see Africans living in the diaspora fighting on my behalf on the right course, because this is what we need as Africans. We all need to come together and fight what is wrong. For me, I'm being a scapegoat just for the next people that will be traveling to Togo. I don't want them to pay that 2,000 francs. I think it's not even Togo this is happening. From Togo to Benin border, or even Benin to Togo border, or whatever, any border that you know. Let me know your experience in African borders, because we need to change this with this video. That's why I'm pleading with you all. Share this video on any platform that you can, and tag anyone that you think needs to see this video, because this must change now.
We have to speak up no matter what. Yeah, we have to speak up no matter what. Hi, good to see you. Wow, good to see you.
Glad we came in.
Thanks for coming in.
Yes.
I'm an army.
Yes.
I'm an army. Wow.
I still can't believe that in 2023, an African needs to spend more money to explore their own continent. If I say more money, you have to spend more money on flights, more money on your accommodation, more money by bribing officials to get your way into another African country. When at all will an African will be liberated? When at all will an African from Ghana will just pack his bag and say that I'm going to Togo without being exploited? When at all as a young African can sit in a train from Ghana and say that I'm going to Benin to explore another African country? Sometimes I wonder if the AU still exists. I wonder if the ECOWAS even functions. I wonder if the SADC region listens to the youth of Africa. I sometimes don't get it. Most of the time, if I come in here to advocate for borderless Africa, it's not because I'm going mad. It's not because I'm doing this for personal gains. As an African traveling in Africa to promote Africa to the world, certain things are obstacles, and I wish to see more Africans exploring their own African country without all these restrictions. I'm speaking straight from the heart, because we've had enough. Enough is enough. I don't know if African leaders watch my video, but do me a favor. If you're watching this video, I want you to like this video, share this video, tag any African leader, because enough is enough. What happened to the African passport? What happens to an African getting visa on arrival as soon as he enters into another African country? Africa belongs to Africans and no one else. Can you believe that someone from Northern America can come to Africa without a visa, yet an African from Africa cannot even travel from one African country without visas? Why are we our own enemies? I think we need to start having such conversations on the continent, because we are tired. If I want to marry from Kenya, it's okay. I should just wake up one day and go to Kenya and get a wife without any restrictions. These borderless are not our own creation. It was not created to benefit an African. It was created by a colonizer, yet the colonizers are gone, but still, Africans leading the continent are not ready to change this seamless border that we see every single day.
And as I was telling another gathering, you know, these borders, and I also mentioned to my brother, these borders that you create silos for yourselves amongst, you must always remember, are not your creation. These were creations of people outside of this continent who made these borders not to develop you, but to extract from you. Now that you want to develop yourself, we must start looking at these borders, and we must start removing the barriers that we have put, that have defined us in the past, and now hinder us from being the giant that we should be.
It's super sad. I mean, if you want to do business in Africa, business is not done in a vacuum. You cannot trade within a vacuum. It's people who trade. So movement of people is what we call trading.
You need each other, and you need to support each other. And as I always state, you are not competitors. And I think the big mistake we have made is by making each other competitors. We are not competing. We have yet to satisfy our respective markets. Our problem is that we are not working closer together to meet the demands that our people have.
Final message to everyone watching this video.
Yes.
I know. Tell them something.
We should be able to pass through Africa freely as black people, period. We don't have to stop at borders. We came all the way across the water to get here. We do not have to cross borders like this and pay every single time. That's my final word to you.
But I would like to say we all have our proper ID. We should not have to stay here at the Ghana border. And we're all Ghanaians. We should be able to pass on to the Togo border.
How long have you been here?
We've been here for over
2 hours. And if we have our papers in order, we're right. We shouldn't have to stop here on this end as opposed to waiting until we get to Togo. What's the purpose of the ECOWAS card? What is the purpose?
Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next Benin vlog.
Mr. Ghana, baby, Africa to the world.
I think we are at a time in our lives when we are calling, demanding, the people need, the brown-skinned people are requiring unity to do away with oppression, to do away with stigmas that have been attached to us. And I say this often, but I feel like a broken record because I feel like the past couple of videos, it has been just talking about unity, about coming together, about changing our mindset. And I feel like it's out of my hands because the moment I try to divert my attention to another topic, something else comes up that I have to respond to. And so I know in this moment for sure that I was handpicked and selected, appointed for a time such as this. And so if I have to keep speaking this over and over and over again, I will. If I have to stand on the top of mountains to get the point across, I will. If I have to yell, I will. Whatever it takes to wake us up. We've been in this for far too long. In this struggle, in this place of defeat, being against each other. Look at what's going on. Being faced with borders, bribes, all from the hands of our brothers and sisters. Something has to change. Something has to be different. There has to be a different conversation, and I'm so glad that Wode Maya has spoke up and created this video to suggest the same. I'm so glad that I'm beginning to become surrounded by like-minded individuals, that it's not just me singing the same tune sounding like a broken record, but there's so many of us coming together, all by way of the Spirit. I don't think that any of us could possibly take the credit for this. This move that's happening, this unified move, this call that is upon our brown-skinned people, it's not by our own might, our own way, or by our own strength, but it's by the Father's hand and His alone. It is His call to His people to say, wake up. Wake up. You see, He can come straight down and break the chains from around our wrists, our feet. But it is up to us to break those mental chains of bondage. And I say this all the time. This slavery has become a mental thing. And it is up to us to wake up to that reality, to begin to think differently. Stop hating your brother and your sister. Stop putting these limitations on us as a people. Because like he said, when you dislike your brother or your sister, you're disliking yourself. And I say this all the time, we are one and the same. We are the same spirit moving. And the quicker you realize that, the easier it will be to become in tune with self, to become in tune with the shift that's happening in this environment, in this moment. So I encourage each and every one of you that while there's many struggles here on the continent, together in unity, we can overcome them. We have to begin to have these conversations of what do we have to do to make this better? And it can't just be one isolated person. It has to be a collaboration of all of us, leaders, citizens, diasporans, coming together under a single building to discuss these matters at hand. Because guess what? Nobody can solve these issues but us. While the oppressor may have done his job in dividing us, only we can come together to create unity. So it's up to us. The ball is in our court. And now the Creator is saying, what are you going to do with that? Leaders, what are you going to do with this ball? You going to make the basket or are you going to miss? Citizens, diasporans, what are you going to do with your shot? Are you going to make it or are you going to miss? It's time for us to change. Thank you, Wode Maya, for making this video. Thank you for joining the fight. And you probably kind of got pushed into it, like most of us. Just when you thought you was doing your own thing, and then it's like he's dragging you by the foot. Get back over here. This is where I need you at, because I need more soldiers. This is where you have to be, because this is what matters in this moment. See, we can't live a selfish life. We have to live an unselfish life. A life dedicated unto Him, to His calling. And it's not always easy. This battle is not for the weak. And that's why many are called, but few are chosen. So if you have been considered a chosen one, it's time for you to stand up. Take your torch and begin to change the narrative. I'm Melody. This is Just Blog. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on this topic. I want to hear all of your views.